Oh wait, I can't find any crafty gifts.
There you go.
I'm very sorry. I'm ready.
I actually do have a story, and it's the.
You have like a ringtone.
When I first met Damani was, I believe, 6th grade in Miss Butler's science class.
Sharon, you come back over.
I was reading a guidebook for a game. I'm pretty sure it was Tales of Symphonia, and he just recognized it was a guidebook. He converged on me. He's like, "Hey, is that a video game book?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." He's like, and then we were friends. That's basically all there was to it. It's like, you like video games? I like video games? Camaraderie.
That's how you all met.
So what's the game book like?
It was back then. I didn't have much time to play actual games, but I had a lot of time to read. So to maximize the amount of content I got through, I studied up ahead of time.
This was before you could like go on the. This is before people knew that you could go online and get free guidebooks.
Yeah.
So and they were bought the actual thing.
So there are books that teach you how to play the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you guys.
Oh yeah.
Met.
I also just enjoyed reading them.
You said what?
I just enjoyed reading them.
It's so dumb to have like guidebooks for first-person shooters because they're so linear.
So the new thing
I've been. You have a guidebook for Halo 3. What are you gonna do?
So you ain't this and push the button.
So Jonathan, I'm gonna go. I'm just talking because I see Damani doing this. The new thing they do now is get on YouTube. Damani will play a video game and videotape him playing it to walk you through the stages of how to beat the game. So if you playing some Star Wars or anything game and you don't know how to read, go to YouTube, put in how you get past level 5, and you'll see it. That's how it is now. So they don't have guidebooks. I remember I had those Madden guidebooks back in the day, 2005, how to beat Madden and all that. So now, none of y'all play sports game, I bet, do you?
I played FIFA. I just don't play.
FIFA. That's not a sports game. That's
I mean, WWE.
I'm just kidding.
I played WWE where
Sports game is 2 games. NBA and Madden.
And both of them are owned by the same company.
I know. No.
EA
EA owns Madden and the other one's owned by
Oh, okay then. Because
by somebody else.
Most of the people.
2K is.
So does anybody know Damani's favorite video game?
Mega Man.
I guess it's Mega Man.
All right. Does anybody know his favorite dish? His favorite fast food? Let's see who's really close to him. His favorite fast food. Not you, grandmother. This is for the.
That is cheating.
You want to tell him, Damani? Crystals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now we gotta take them on.
For the first time, maybe it was a 5th grade trip.
Yeah.
When they go out of town, so he had never been like away from Damani ever. And so we said, trying to make it a good time, we said, Damani, you can go wherever you want to go, wherever you want to go for dinner, you can pick the restaurant, anything. What do you want? He said crystals. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to crystals. Anyway.
75-cent hamburgers and. What?
No, it's $1. It's $1.05. It's crystal costs $1, man. It used to be no, it's $1. Crystal, it used to cost 25.
You used to get 12 crystals for $1.
No, that's not nutritious.
Well, you used to get gas 50 cents a gas. Y'all getting old. Real crystal for $1.
In Europe, it's like $8
a
a gallon.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a favorite game.
You know? Really? Not even Assassin's Creed?
No, I can't say.
Not. There's just too many good ones.
So
For
why
me,
don't
Jack 2 will always be my favorite game.
Somebody tell us something about Damani that his elder family
Doesn't know his
not
food.
know about and that you all know.
Surprise us. Who can show
Yeah.
us about Damani?
Does he have a girlfriend?
Girls.
Eric would know. Eric?
Chicks love him.
All of them.
Is that why they call him D-Money?
D-Money.
What did you say?
Oh yeah, D-Money.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything. He doesn't tell me anything, so.
He doesn't tell us anything.
Okay. Are you sure you all are close?
I mean,
Yeah. I'm starting to second guess
He
this.
has no secret.
No, like,
he
I thought I knew him so well.
Should
Some of you realize he's a greater enigma than I am.
Turns out you like that.
Well, I remember I have a story. It's funny. It was funny to me when it happened, and but anyway, Damani had to be. This was over Nana's house, And so, Damani, you turned 16. I guess you were 6, maybe 17 years ago. Is that possible in Atlanta? Over your house?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he was probably 6. It seems like he was younger, maybe like 3 or 4. But anyway, we were all sitting around. I believe it was Christmas. We were at the house. And so I don't know if y'all remember who Marvin Gaye is. Everybody knows Marvin, right?
Yes.
I had never seen him get into music.
I think it was R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, it was R. Kelly.
Yeah.
It's R. Kelly.
Marvin Gaye. It was R. Kelly?
It was R.
Okay.
Kelly. I remember
That's even
now.
better.
Yeah.
And so we were just sitting, it just like mesmerized me because I had never seen Damani's playful side, music side. Now, of course, we all know he's the genius that he is in music, but back then, we didn't know. He was just a smart little kid. And so R. Kelly came on, and Stepping in the Name of Love, they said, and I just remember Damani standing in the corner. It was by the fireplace. He just got into a groove. He was just like, and nobody was paying attention. He was just, we were all just, enjoying the family, everything. And he was by himself, just like, and I called him, and I was like, Damani, you like that song? He was just into it. I was like, that's my nephew right there. That's my nephew.
Then he came out. He just got in front of all of us.
Yeah, he just opened up, and so that was,
He
I
loved that
love it.
song.
That was, I mean, but I think it was just how the music, it seemed like it was just so much soul involved. It touched the soul, and he just got into it. And
Got happy, huh?
no inhibition.
He did.
Got happy, man.
That's what
Just,
we called it. He got happy.
it was good. It was good stuff.
So does anybody know his favorite pastime? What he likes to do when he just has time?
Play
I don't know. I imagine he's probably really quiet when he does that.
music until about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
He plays a muted guitar. You don't know unless you're in the
You mean a ukulele?
Can I tell you this? Damani made a video with Mega Man and him playing his guitar. We're not gonna sue it, but I didn't know he liked Mega Man that much either till I saw this video. I said, oh, that's Mega Man.
Together?
Huh?
At the same
Together,
time?
y'all have to see. He just put on YouTube last night.
No, I mean, like, was he playing while he was playing Mega Man?
Now, that
No.
would be impressive.
Yeah.
That would be like,
Such an
I
easy
would
for
see
those.
So what? You say this?
He said we can see it.
his guitar.
I can play it right here and show him a little quick
Well,
second.
that's okay. But that's the way we'll go.
We'll get
do
it
that
second.
next. Let's not. Okay.
I got something about it.
Okay, let's go, Mary.
You'll never find out something because he's not really gonna brag about it. But when you do, just make sure if you haven't done it, then don't ask him because you'll probably feel a little bit bad about yourself. Like there was a game I found on our computers. It's like a cross between Mega Man and Street Fighter. This level is so hard, Damani. How are you doing? He's like, beat the game. Many times I found myself like, Damani, I got ahead on this project last night. How'd you do? Finished 2 days ago. Make sure if you're gonna ask him something, be ready.
Okay, I got a good one. So it was in 8th grade, and we had taken our school trip to Savannah, and when we were rooming, we had just gotten in our hotel rooms, and it was about 30 minutes in between what we were going to do next. And this piece of paper comes under the door from the hotel room next door to us. And we look at it, we're just like, oh, okay. And so we pick it up, and we open the note, and it says, "Bring us Damani." We don't know who said it.
Wow.
Every class trip, it's still been going on.
Yeah.
Like the
Wait,
8th and 9th
it's tradition now.
It's a tradition. Somebody takes a note and slips under here, but we don't know who did it.
The first time. Now it's tradition.
No, what, dude, like, I was thinking in the shower, you came in and then, like, you wrote it.
No, that was Hunter. That was hilarious. Hunter and Sam, yeah, they took soap and they rubbed it against the mirror. So it was all steamy. So when he would get out, it would say, "Bring us Damani."
So nobody knows what it means? Like,
Well, nobody.
the very first.
I'm not sure what it means. I
Actually,
don't know who did it. I don't know what the motivation.
It was weird. When we first got in, like, someone was really shaking the door. We were just like messing around, and then like after enough time, so like someone came by and said, "Hey, someone's shaking the door. They open the door." I was like, "Oh, that's Miss Davis's room. This is like Darlene Davis's room." And so like she's trying to tell you to be quiet. He's like, "Okay." He's like, and then a note comes in and it says, "Bring us Damani." And I'm like, "Oh God."
I remember that. I remember.
Okay, Miss Davis.
I remember remember Sam was freaking out. He was getting all parental and stuff like that. He was just like, oh God, what do we do? What do we do?
I say we leave the door locked. Don't open the door.
Sam Casey still reminds me of Piggy.
Well, I think.
Are all of you all juniors or seniors?
Junior.
Y'all juniors? Okay.
I
He
think
was
his
very
favorite
familiar. Were you in a
outside-
spelling bee?
No.
That's not the, you know the one who's you know the
Alex and
Kush, that's what he always said. Yeah, give it to me. He gets the crowd pump all the time. That's not you.
Austin Cushing, I remember that day. He was
Is he still at GAC?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Never gonna forget it. He played.
He hasn't picked up anything yet.
Well, I found Demoni's favorite pastime was video games, and I know he loves video games. But his grandmother bought him a guitar, and he started guitar lessons, a year and a half ago? And so, we really didn't support him at all. His grandmother, he was like, he plays the trumpet, he doesn't play the guitar. But anyway, so she bought him the guitar lessons, he did it for the summer, and then school started, and I'm like, no guitar lessons, you have school, you have marching band, no guitar lessons. So he asked me that first Monday or whatever, school, when am I going back to guitar? I was like, I don't know, that's not part of the plan. And I said, you just wait until you get adjusted to school. And so I hear him playing the guitar. I'm like, it's not supposed to be guitar lessons, what is going on? So he was on YouTube, he was doing his own guitar lessons. So he was still spending the time. So I said, I guess we gotta go to guitar lessons. And now he still goes, and he has his video, and I guess the guitar is his favorite instrument. Not the trumpet, he has two trumpets.
I don't want to say it's not my favorite instrument. I just say I like them both equally.
Eric,
over the summer I started taking.
are you the bass player in the band? Well, the parents, grandparents, and uncles don't know. They have a group. Eric is the bass player, right? This is Eric. You don't have a
We
drummer.
don't really have an official.
It was just like a lot of, that one time it was just like we came together and it was just like just call everybody together type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a couple
But y'all did pretty good with that the lead singer. What's his name? That one.
West Van Zandt.
Okay. I like him with that song you sang. It was kind of.
It's not like an actual group that we did come together, and there's a video on YouTube of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a pretty cool singer, yeah.
Why does every story here seem to end with there's a video on YouTube?
I know. It's on YouTube.
Nothing's private anymore.
I don't think Rick Zamani would be very appropriate on YouTube.
He's like so quiet, but he's absolutely not camera shy.
Like you just sit on the
Well, you all can help me stop this kind of dispute we have here at home. I always thought, and this is part of the stuff I was going to tell him my story, Damani has always been a quiet son. Always very polite and nice. And I said, man, I remember at GAC, all the boys, they was coming from recess, and everybody rushing to go to lunch. And he would always be the last one opening doors so everybody let it in. I said, as a father, man, why you always be last holding the door? Sometimes you beat them and let them hold the door for you. That's just his nature. And I said, do you have friends there? He said, Dad, I have a lot of friends. I said, because I was just wondering, as a parent, you wanted, I don't see him. I always see him kind of with just Steve. I said, you have any other friends? But now, as he's gotten older, I always see him on campus with different people. Then I started seeing Eric come over. So I'm glad you all are very special to him, all of you all who came, because he has very limited friends who he calls his friends, and he's very selective. And I'm glad to see all of you all here.
Apparently he drops a lot of barriers if you have a book about video games.
And say your name you really mature, Amaris. Now let me tell you the story that went on about you in our household. And my youngest knows about this. So Demoni's telling me all his friends, and he says Amaris. I said, I know that. Amaris. I can't never say the name right. But I said, man, that little bad kid. I said, that's the one be taking the little kids like Jabari's age, taking the ball and running around and won't bring that ball back to them. You was like in the 6th grade and they were like 3rd graders. You remember doing that? You would grab their ball and just run. I said, let me catch that boy. I said, man, give him that ball back. And so when Demani told me he was friends, I said, he can't be all that bad. Demani's really like him, but I think I've been seeing you all the time, like at Waffle House. What's the Asian girl name?
Jenny.
Is that your girlfriend? She's a cute girl. I ain't put her on the spot. Like, I see him, but you really, I've seen you change over the years. You've really grown. He's really mature. I've been watching you on campus. Parents watch y'all. I want y'all to know that. We see everybody who hold hands. All y'all think that, but we see that on the campus. Parents talk, and we know who are good kids and who kind of mischievous. And all of you, I've never seen you. What's your name?
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I've never seen you on campus.
Oh.
The first, but I'm sure you're nice. But have y'all ever seen me on campus?
I've seen you.
Have you?
In
I
fact,
stay
I
on
went-
campus. That's why.
In 3rd grade, I went to Damani's, I guess it'd be his 10th birthday party.
Oh, 4th grade, yeah.
4th grade.
Yeah.
Really?
I remember. That was the first time.
The swimming party.
Mhm.
Oh, you were there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was probably.
I don't think I'm going to see that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, no, we know you the least, but yet you've known him the longest.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one person that the Barons don't actually know is the one that all the gas.
So, were you one of the girls who was really in love with Foster?
No.
I didn't say, no, she's a friend of Damani's. That should answer the question.
That's a good one, Steve.
I remember Foster called him D Money for the longest time.
To be fair, most of us do as well.
Yeah, we did for a while.
Oh, one
I did
thing-
Foster.
That was your like nickname in Terry's class.
He's pretty Damani's pretty selective about his friends, so it's not like everyone knows a lot about it. But one thing everyone knows when they hear it is his laugh. you tell Damani a good joke in class, everyone class will stop. Damani doesn't care.
In Dr. Hill's class, you know Cosette?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about, she was asking me, we were doing a lab, and she didn't like get all the homework or work done or whatever, and she was asking me to help her. I said, no, you gotta do your homework by yourself. Like I'll beat you up. I don't want to hurt her, so like Cosette, stop. I was trying to stop her, but she was really punching hard. Yeah. So I'm jokingly, I'm talking to the teacher, Dr. Hill. So, Dr. Hill, cause it's punching me, can you help me? And actually Dr. Hill goes Damani, pin slap her. No, I can't do that. Damani, you're too nice, and so he pulls me in and he whispers in my ears, and he says, kick her in the balls. I kid you not, I don't even know how.
Who said that, Dr. Hill?
Yeah, I don't know how. But I found myself on the floor laughing with my eyes closed.
See, I like Dr. Hill a lot because Wesley saw this last year, but it was Bible class of Mr. Townsend, which I absolutely hated that class. I hated everyone that was in that class, and I hated the teacher. And
It's a strong word.
yeah, it's pretty much fits how I felt about this class. Tony had been sticking his head into Dr. Hill's class and just saying hi or whatever. And so Dr. Hill, I had walked to the bathroom, I was walking back, and Dr. Hill pulls me aside and tells me, hey, I want you to go in there. You know Tony? I was like, yeah. I want you to punch him in the throat and yell Dr. Hill. So I was like, okay. So I walked back into the classroom and I'm like, I don't actually hit him, but I stop right before I'm like, Dr. Hill. And he's walks back in, and Dr. Hill, he's like, you're trying to get Tillman to kill me now? And Dr. Hill's just like, I like that kid.
But one thing about Damani, I had on this questions what about Damani? And so I said, I wanted him to answer all the questions because I said we could play a game and see who gets it right, who knows you, and he wouldn't answer questions. But one of the questions was rule maker or rule breaker. He's like, everybody knows I follow the rules. I'm like, okay, that's not a good question. So when we go to the movies a lot, and sometimes we're early, for the movie, so we're just gonna step in and kind of catch the tail end of another movie. So we're all together as a family. I'm like, oh, let's go on this one right here and catch the tail end. And we're walking in the movie and there's no Damani. I'm like, where's Damani? He would not come in that movie. He said, we didn't pay for that. I'm not going in there. We can't go.
I wouldn't do it either.
I'm like, okay, Damani.
You're going in just to see spoilers.
Well, I guess
There's that too, yeah.
You're
paying for it, might as well.
Can you imagine if they did an all-you-can-watch kind of deal at the movie theater? You buy It's like a buffet. You just buy
movies.
one, and then you just watch them over and over again.
Actually, Ashley McCart does that. She'll buy one ticket to one movie, and then she'll just go around to another movie as it's starting, and come back and go see another movie after that. all
Demoni's,
just for one ticket price.
me and Demoni's mom used to do that when we first started dating.
Stealing?
Do you have a favorite?
Then she changed it. Was we would go to one movie matinee and hop to another. Who was in college?
Like maybe 11 and they end at maybe 10 at night. And they feed you too. At AMC North Dakota.
Really?
The system that they take your tickets isn't exactly like smart. Like they take them all at one place, and no one's actually watching the doors of the theaters. They don't know who you are. You walked in there 2 hours ago. They probably forgotten your face by the time you walk in.
Oh wait, I have a story. I don't remember if you remember this, but it was on the 7th grade trip in Washington. So I was a new student in 7th grade, so not many teachers knew who I was. So we were going inside the Abraham Lincoln Memorial to watch the play about him. And Miss Bradley, she was a math teacher. I reached out to get my ticket from her. She's like, "Hold on, who are you?" I was like, and like, Monty, he was sitting there. I didn't know him at the time. He was sitting there like, "Come on, man, you can do it. I know you'll make it." I'm like, my ticket. He looked so relieved. I was like, "Thanks, man. That's watching out for me."
I remember that. You know, and it reminds me, last year, in 10th grade, Miss Hughes, like, we were just, like, getting in. So, like, it was, like, the beginning of the week, or beginning of the school year. And, like, we're just doing homework, and so everyone's left, and it's just, me, you, Liz, and Katie. And we're walking out, and then, like, we're not looking, and Miss Hughes comes out of the door, and she puts her hands on our shoulders, like, I gotta talk to you a second, like, oh, and we're both like, oh, God, what? Like, you're American, you're Damani, right? Like, yeah.
No, I swear.
Did anyone enjoy like any part of our 10th grade trip?
No,
I didn't.
Dude,
Our
except for
favorite-
Mr. Koss. Mr. Koss got these jelly beans. They were like you had to spin, and you either got a good flavor or an awful flavor.
Oh, I remember those.
And that's what kept it.
The one thing that I remember from the last year's trip on the haunted thing, like I got separated from my group.
No, I
and,
thought
like,
you left. You
No.
stayed back with Mr. Ely.
No, like we got separated from the groups and we just like walked around for like an
Remember,
hour.
I was.
And we were just like talking about stuff. And Mr. Ely is the best.
He is.
Yeah, like he was the best science teacher.
But
No,
our
that
ninth grade trip was.
The last 10th grade trip when I got separated from the group and just walked around
So,
with Mr. Ely. for, like,
the trip you all are taking Monday, you all juniors, right? Well, where are you all going?
Where we
We just
all-
real treat.
It's tomorrow.
It's a spiritual treat.
Oh, I'm not.
Is
going.
anyone in this room going? Ladies and
Ugh.
on it. Going on the spiritual retreat. I never would have guessed.
Actually, you went last year.
I don't like it. I don't.
Also, it's not mandatory.
No, it's
Oh
not.
yeah, no. You
They just have to stay
I
at
don't
school.
go.
it's actually I like not going on the retreat. I
Okay.
went on the retreat in 9th grade, and it's just like
What do they do here?
it's just a bunch of bodies coming together.
Yeah.
It's like
Quite literally.
It is. It's like a club.
Sarah, you like
God!
Yeah, it's just like I
It's
was
a tiny room
and
and the floor
yeah,
goes up and
despite the
down.
fact it's a spiritual retreat, we would go into the dorms and slap box each other.
Oh
The
my
girls
God.
haven't seen me.
I had been.
Oh really?
What's it called?
Why do you really want to go?
People just did that, and I took videos of it, and people were like clocking each other. I was just like,
I think you want to go for spiritual.
So
I
much
remember what happened last
Stop
year.
them.
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, man. His hands are up.
A funny story. Every year that we've had, when I go to the spiritual retreat, we have Austin Cushion in our cabin, and like every year we do prank phone calls. And
You?
I don't know. No, Austin Cushion.
Okay,
he
good.
leads them. And I don't know if I can like talk about him here, but I think
No,
that's
you can't.
No, you can't. You said often pushing, therefore now.
if we're talking about things we can't talk about. I got really punished.
Well, we can't talk about it.
But he just really goes, real up. He tells really funny stories, and also when we were talking, he said something like really ridiculous, and both me and Sam would like mash our heads into the pillow, and the pillows were holding, so they won't hear us laughing our butts off.
So it's nothing like the spiritual retreat. Duran, you remember you went on one when you was young, and you said it was so powerful that you felt like you was floating in the air. It was spiritual.
I feel,
So y'all not doing any praying.
Our
Our retreat, it's so powerful you can feel the floor shake.
Well,
literally, it goes up and down.
What'd you say, Steve?
I have
What's that?
I have a story from last year since I stayed back during the spiritual retreat. One of the things I did in all the free time we had was I was just like, since I didn't have any homework or stuff to catch up on, I just went and like stayed in Mr. Townsend's room and played chess against him. And he's one of the chess coaches. So I hadn't taken chess in more than like 2 years. So obviously he stomped me.
Uh-huh.
So I was on the last ropes and just like staring him down. And then I looked down and was like, stalemate. And he screamed. A teacher just like stood up and screamed. No!
You beat him?
I didn't beat him, but I got him to stalemate when he was winning, and he was a chess coach.
So I don't even know what that is.
They
Tied.
tied. And just like screamed at me. And like I think people like 2 buildings over heard him.
Okay.
I'd laugh so hard if it was like Mr. Ely like looks over and Mr. Townsend wants to chess again. Just like he knows.
He probably did. Like Mr. Ely's so awesome, he probably did.
Another thing
Oh,
about
no.
money and trips, one of the most fun things to do whenever we go on a trip that has a theme park is to watch them on a roller coaster.
Oh, yes.
You already know Zamani's like a normally quiet person. So on the line, he's not cutting, he's watching everybody cut, he's just fine. We get on the coaster, it goes, as soon as it drops, I have never heard someone so loud.
Is the picture over there, Jabari? Is it one right there? And Jabari, I thought we had the picture of him on the road right there, the family. It's not one right there. Oh no. I had one with him on the roller coaster. It's not.
As soon as he gets off, it's back to normal Zamani. He's like, yes, yes. I enjoyed that.
It's just funny, Tillman actually, beforehand, before the next big trip, I was actually afraid to go on roller coasters. But Tillman, I remember, we went on the cheetah hunt. And he convinced me.
Was that your first one?
That was my first real one. He convinced me to go on it. So he actually helped me to break my fear of roller coasters, and ever since then,
I broke my fear of that on that trip too. So we did it together.
And now they're killing people.
And a couple of the
Gotta be
stories
careful.
from the Williamsburg trip. Most people say that the actual tour guides are really boring, it was awful, or whatever. I had the blessing of having 2 of the best tour guides I've ever seen. Yeah, one of them, we were going through a tour of some politician's house, and there was this tour guide. She's a female actor, and so she was really pretty, and Matthew Bowling was actually trying to hit on her. So
Of course he would.
So he's saying I can't get your number or whatever. But she has stay in character or whatever. So after that they get a picture together, and after we leave, our tour guide goes, "Dude, your game's so bad you have to use it on 18th century."
Ain't so bad.
Hold up my tour guide.
I don't know, this might be a little personal, but during the Busch Gardens trip, it was right before we were going to prom. I didn't go, but a lot of you guys. No, it's a dance. It was a homecoming.
Okay.
And we were a lot of people were asking of each other to go with each other. And I remember Liz and Marius, we were riding on some ride, and during right before the drop where we heard really go fast, Amirius asked Liz if he wants to go to homecoming with her. And so yeah, they do that, and then someone else is Kyle and Ashley.
Yeah.
They go on the
funny story.
I'll let you get, but on a tower drop. So they drop, and after that, Liz goes to Marius, a little bit more romantic if you ask me. All day after that, and the rest of the time, Marius was I'm really not getting a little bit more romantic.
So the thing about Kyle asking Ashley was that Kyle asked a bit too late, right? So the thing goes up really slowly, and it stops at the top. He thought it would sit there for a bit longer, right? So he was like, "Hey Ashley, do you want to go to home?" Because something right next to him was like, "Hey Ashley, do you want to go homecoming with me?"
I didn't even think she heard him. What were you saying at the top?
No, but he tries to play it off. Like, even if you ask him out, he'll say no. But yeah, I think we all.
You know, like at amusement parks, they have the racing roller coasters, so they have like the two wooden ones that are side by side. I remember one year I was up in Cedar Point, up in Michigan, and it was one of those coasters, and I look over where my dad and I are sitting in the front seat. I look over, the guy beside us is going like this.
Oh, I remember the Busch Gardens trip because it was around Halloween time. At night, they had people dressed up in costumes.
Oh, yeah. I hated that.
This girl, she was so scared. I was like, Elizabeth, they're just in costume.
Oh, yeah.
They're just in costume. And we had to go back to the bus because at 10 o'clock, they said be at the bus at 10 o'clock. So Liz was like, it was me, Damani, and Liz. And she was just hiding, and I was too busy laughing. But Damani, being Damani, he was nice. He would be comforting. I remember this one guy, he had a chainsaw, and he had a mask, and he ran up. And Liz like jumped on, she's like, ah! And I was just laughing at Damani, just like looked at him. He looked at Damani, and I was staring at him. And the guy was like, this guy has no fear. He kind of walks away, and I'm like, that's right.
Oh, that trip, I had a lot of trouble with that trip.
Yeah, because like one of the bridges was basically just like a blockade, and you had to take that bridge to get to one side
And it
of
was
the park.
covered in spiders.
He just couldn't cross. Like
I crossed it.
I made him look at the floor.
I crossed it
while we walked.
To my credit, I crossed it 3 times.
But I just made him watch the
You do
floor.
know those spiders are fake, right?
I knew they were fake. Well, I knew very well they were fake.
So yeah,
Irrational fear sucks.
I remember. Me, Alex, and and two other friends of ours, we went on one of those haunted houses that they had.
Oh yeah.
Which you
I
missed
didn't get to
out
go on
on.
one of
For
those.
that reason. Yeah, we went on one of them, and it was a vampire-related one. And, you know, like, since he's really pale, so we teased him about the whole thing, going back to his people and stuff like that. But it's just like one of them pops out of nowhere, and she's just like, I forget. And she's just like,
She was like, I was like, go ahead.
those were really good. I think you would have enjoyed those. You should have just.
Yeah, I didn't want to wait in the monumental lines because they were like an hour
The
long.
one that was like outside.
You got scared and you pushed me.
No, the guy, like one of the guys, like this is so grab and grabbing. I was like, get away.
I remember that.
Let me ask you something as a parent, because I'm always curious how do y'all students feel about dress code, and do you all ever wish you all went to another school? Do y'all like GAC that much? Because it's like everybody's wearing that same clothes,
To
Dress-
be fair, I wear dress code clothes most of the year.
Yeah, I know. Even on Jeans Day, I see you in khakis.
I don't
And you-
own a pair of jeans.
Oh, you don't? Why you just don't like them?
Well, I'd only be able to wear them like one day of the week.
I'm gonna wear khaki shorts, which is
Okay.
like, that's like the
Well,
modern
most of the school year is in winter.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
wear a
most of my-
jacket and pants no matter what
But
the weather is.
the question is, do you all like GAC, or do you ever wish sometimes you went to a public school where you have more freedom?
The dress code really isn't a deciding factor. We wish it was probably gone, but it's not a huge deal.
I like GAC better than my old school.
Yeah,
I have
he
to
did.
change my clothes, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And they not
It takes, like-
strict with the dress code, are they?
I don't know.
Because I've noticed on the dress code and everything, boys, you shouldn't have mustache, you can't have sideburns, you can't have certain. But I see people breaking that code. They're not strict about it.
They will like bring you to the office and make you shave with a dull razor. They are really strict.
Really?
They pick
They haven't done it to
favorites.
me yet.
They pick favorites when it comes to dress code. I used to have very long hair, like it was
Mhm.
beyond the dress code, and nobody said anything.
Right.
It's just-
I look
I'd
at
see
Tron.
somebody
He has all those long
like-
braids.
Like if it was somebody that they didn't like at the moment, and he had like the length of Tillman's hair, it would be just like, no, you must cut it.
Oh, okay.
They would hold you down and like cut it with safety scissors.
Wait, what's wrong with my hair? You can see my ears. I thought that was the rule.
The joke is like they would be less merciful on.
But it's not like in my eyes. I have to constantly do this.
It's just that,
No, like, but
exactly
if
the
someone-
reasons they
if
pick
someone-
favorites like that.
One of the biggest
It's not saying that there's many unfavorites. Like if someone else that they didn't like had your hair, they'd yell at them. Your hair's not wrong,
There
but
was-
they
there
fuck
was
you.
So
really
you all believe in favorites? They do have favorites.
Oh, yeah.
That's just what.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody's
That's
completely
my-
unbiased.
That is not.
I
I'm still
remember
surprised.
that last year my art teacher, I had like gone 3 days without shaving. I had like a bit of stubble, and my art teacher was like, "You need to shave." And I was like,
One of the
Was this Miss Ballinger?
"No, this was
I don't
Miss
shave.
Adams, drawing and painting."
So is Demani sideburns too long? His mom's his barber. You need to cut them right, Steve.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, look, they haven't yelled at me yet. It's just practically a
Monday.
beater.
The Monday
No,
didn't say
it-
anything?
that is nothing.
Not
No.
bad. It's getting there.
Well, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to some words of wisdom. What you
All right,
got?
Jonathan.
So it's on me.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with a kind of a funny story because when Sharon called me and said, "Oh, did you text me? You didn't call me.
Maybe.
You texted me
I
or
did. I
emailed me or
text
something
you. Yeah, I text
and
you.
said, we want you to provide some words of wisdom." And I said, I was like, "What, me?" Like, you know? So I started thinking, and what made it really even more so tough was it's words of wisdom to Damani. Because Damani is probably, you know, at least from my standpoint, you know, a kid that has a ton of wisdom as a kid.
She is a good role model.
Yeah. So Sharon, you're adding on to my already heavy load of work by requiring me to really seriously think about, you know, what really would make some sense to him because he's got, you look at his life and you see it, and he's already way wise beyond his years. So now I got to really sit down and think about it and try to come up with something that actually might be beneficial to the kid that already, you know, seems to have it all in order. So what I did, and I didn't know what the setting would be and who else would be in here. So what I did was I went to the source for where I try to get wisdom or get some. And you guys going to GAC, I'm sure, have at some point crossed Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, and some of you might know it like inside out. So what I did was I just started to read it, which I do, you know, in my life to try to help myself grow and keep learning and gain more wisdom, because we always find ourselves with decisions we have to make in our life that sometimes you need to be reminded of how to make those decisions. So Proverbs is really it for me. You know, I don't know how much time you all spend with it, but it's a good thing to just read, just to kind of understand. And Proverbs was written in large part by Solomon, who was, you know, known to be the wisest man in all of the world. And so it is, you know, I kind of thought about it and I said, well, I really started to think about what wisdom is, and I kind of came up with a little definition. And I started to, really, another funny thing is, you probably don't even know what they are, but I started to write some of this stuff down on flashcards, you know, like some of the scripture and stuff on flashcards so I can remember. But I'm glad I didn't, because now I'm sitting here talking to all of these technology savvy kids. So you'll be glad to know I put it on my iPad. I did. I was going to have the flashcards shuffling, but then I said, wow, I put it on my iPad now. Oh, really? A flashcard. I gotta get that. So I wrote down a quick little definition for what I kind of think wisdom is, and I'm flattered that you would even ask me, because that makes me feel like maybe you think I have some, which I think is a good thing, or that I'm so old that I gotta have learned something along the way. So what I said, you know, after really kind of giving this some thought, I came up with this little definition. It says rules that we use for our life to effectively govern our actions to yield a productive and successful life. So it's really trying to come up with certain rules and certain ways that we conduct ourselves to navigate life. And if you start to just read Proverbs, one word that is consistent in it, like at the beginning, one of the very first words of a lot of the passages is listen. It starts with listen. And for a kid, you know, that, you know, young kids that are now growing and about to be adults, that sometimes I remember how when I was 16, how you start to learn things and you become very confident and you think you probably know a lot more than you actually do, and then you kind of start, it has the effect of causing you not to really listen to people that who have lived a long time and gone through a lot of different things and have learned how to deal with things based upon trial and error. You start not to listen to them. And so Proverbs reminds you that it is important to always listen. And so one of the passages, like one of the very first passages in it that talked about listening was Proverbs 1, verse 8. It says, "Listen, my son, to a father's instruction." And it kind of is very redundant, you know, about listening throughout Proverbs. It continues to tell you to listen, listen, listen. And I think of how many times I have forgotten to and tried to just go on my own, you know. And so important, I think, to people you all's age and the mind, no matter how smart you get, because you guys probably have more, you know, substantive knowledge than I probably have, you know, more than twice your age. What's different is having lived and seen certain things and really determining how to deal with challenging situations based upon actually living through it. And you just don't get it by reading a book or looking at YouTube or looking at, you know, something. Yeah, that, you know, it's something you have to live. So that same passage says, "Listen, my son, to a father's instruction." And what else is very important in that is who it tells you to listen to. You know, probably the purest form of direction and advice is probably a parent. Because parents want you, you know, there's a lot of people you can ask a question that may have ulterior motives. They may want to direct you based upon what they want to happen. A parent just wants you to just do well, period. They want the best for you above what's good for them. So to ask a parent for instruction, except for things like going into the movies when a parent is telling you to go into a movie, you know, that is not the right movie. You have to pay for that movie. You know, that's when you shut the parent down. But a parent really is that's the most pure form of finding unbiased kind of instruction. And you have two parents that love you more than, you know, life itself. So no matter how smart you get and how much information you get, always know that you can come back to them. And then not only that, you got grandmothers that have like wisdom beyond, you know, just you can't even imagine. I mean, you know, my aunt, since I was this big, I can remember listening to her, you know, intently and going to her and asking her questions. So you have all of that available to you. And, you know, sometimes I might have something that might make a little sense. You can come down and sit down and talk to me. So that's one of the things that's very, very important. And you know, I know there's a lot of people here and they want to say a few different things, but one of the things about gaining wisdom is it's something that has to be sought, really. Wisdom doesn't just fall in your lap. I tell people all the time now, because I deal with people that I think get enticed and influenced by a lot of really negative things. And trouble really has its way of finding you. Trouble, you can sit at your house and be having the best intentions, and trouble will ring that phone, and now we got, you know, phone, text, and, you know, we're accessible to everybody. They can get to us immediately. And so trouble, it finds you. Wisdom is something you have to go and get. And a lot of people aren't used to seeking it. You know, you can get off into your own world and you think that again, you know it all, and you have to remember, you know, your parents are there. Go to them, ask them a question. You know, maybe a pastor, maybe a friend. And I'm glad to see I haven't really met many of Damani's friends over the years, but I'm glad to see you guys and see the kind of relationship you all have. And I know that you guys sounds like you guys seek to steer each other properly, which is what you want. And you just want to try to really think about who has your best interest at heart when you're asking them questions, because everybody doesn't. Most don't. And so you said Damani very selective, which is important. You know, you very selective in who you listen to and allow what they say to you to be a part of how you conduct yourself. So being selective is a very, very important thing. It looks like Damani is well on his way to having made good choices about who he will surround himself with. Just to that point, I'm going to say this last thing, and I'll be done. That the scripture that talks about that is it says, my son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. And then he goes on to talk about all these different negative things that you can be enticed to do, like robbing people and stealing and killing and all of those different things. And I can tell you how many times just through my life that I've gotten the phone, but misery loves company. And misery will come and get you and say, hey man, come along with me and let's go and do this, you know. And so you'll have to be able to decipher that and make the right decision to pass on it and not do things that will be detrimental and not beneficial to you long term. So hopefully that can be a bit of information for you that hopefully helps you to navigate life in the way that you would want it to go. All right.
Next. Reg or Duran?
I just want to say you are one classy dude because whenever we were going to lunch or going through a door, you were always the first to open it and
the last to let go of it.
Yeah, the last to let go of it. You always follow ladies first, no matter what. Just all the time.
Do we not?
What are you trying to say about the rest of us?
I find that extremely sexist. Why should you?
I want to say something after she said that because it's what you said. Your 2 points reminded me of Damani. Do you know what I'm thinking about?
I think I do.
Damani. Okay. Tell me your name again.
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, that is wonderful that you brought up those 2 points. Because they hit directly at him growing up. Damani was no more than 4 or 5 years old, and I was trying to teach him the importance of holding the door open for women. And it seemed like he would never get it, and you're telling me he got it.
It takes a village, because that's I worked on.
Okay,
That's
and
we all.
then
He does it
the
for
other
sharing.
thing that you said about women, Damani asked me, and this was recently. This was like a year or so ago, maybe a little longer. Damani was really concerned. He'd been on a trip with the school, and somehow on the bus, the teacher, whoever was on the bus, said, Damani, no, the boys move and let the girls sit down. And Damani was really just astonished that someone would ask one person move so that another person. And I said, but Damani, it has something to do with the gender. You're not looking at who it is. He said, but grandma, what's the difference? They're strong and I'm strong. What is this? But he got it, right?
He got it.
1 head, 2 arms, 2 legs, we're all people.
That's good. He's come a long way in his development, and I couldn't help but reflect when Jonathan first started talking about what a load Sharon put on him, trying to come up with some wisdom for Damani because he's always been ahead of his time. I can recall 2.
Was that you grow until you fall up the tree. Once you fall up, the pears grow until they fall up the tree. Once they fall up the tree, they die. So until you, just grow until you're gonna continue to grow forever for the rest of your life. And so one of the things that we're learning in this group is we've been focusing on is balance, time management. We take it into a lot of different things, but having balance in life, I'm finding is so important. And that's just between being, your mental, physical state, your spiritual state, your social state, and then also your personal time, the time that you spend with yourself. And, I would just say that mentally, you're doing all the right things. You're junior in high school. You're getting ready for college. I would love to really sit down and listen to where you intend to go and what you see and what your vision is and the path that you think you want to take right now, being a junior, because that's a conversation I think we could really get into and really talk about and go in depth with. But, thinking about, I think about you going to college and some of the decisions that you're going to have to make. What college you go to, you may have already decided. But just the mental aspect, I think you're on top of the physical aspect, staying in the gym. Because if you don't work out, you take care of your body, eat right, and work out, and continue to just grow and build your tool, your body, then then that part of your life won't be as sufficient as it needs to be, as strong as it needs to be. So it's critical for all of these parts of life. It's critical to have balance, the physical aspect, and then you go to the spiritual. Of course, you're doing that. Everybody's kind of had a story about how you're very humble person. You're nice. You're spiritual. Sitting on a swing in second grade, talking, meditating. I mean, all of those things. And then the social aspect. I haven't seen. This is my first time, and it's good to see all your friends here. But the Damani that I know and love is typically in the room upstairs working on a guitar, or maybe reading, playing a video game, and really enjoying the things that you like to do. And I applaud all of that, having the maturity and the confidence to be able to say, okay, well, I'm not really interested in what's going on right here. I'm going to go to my room and do this. But at the same time, it's so important, I think, to have that engagement with your friends, because you learn more about yourself. So, and then finally, the me time. Time to get away from everybody else and think about what it is that you want to do, the goals that you have in life, what you want to achieve. And just being at that age in your life at 16, I remember it, for me, I remember it like it was yesterday. I know it's been many moons ago, but I do remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember where I was at 16. I had so many different dreams and aspirations, and things change, things happen. You'll have roadblocks, but as long as
to be the person given the gift and the opportunity to be his mom in this wonderful life. But everybody's saying how wise he is and how wise behind his years, and I just hope we don't get off track, because he thinks he's that smart. And he thinks he's that smart. And I made the mistake when he was maybe in the 7th grade. I forgot what he did. He did something that was just awesome and great. And I was like, oh my God, Damani, I think you're smarter than I am. And his eyes got so big. I'm like, no, wait a minute. That's not what I meant. But actually, I think for the stage that he is and where I am, he is. He's smarter than I was at this age. He's just really, really smart, wise beyond his years, and I'm proud of him. And I don't know what to expect in his life, but I know it's going to be something great and wonderful. Does anybody know what he's interested in for a career choice? Of course.
No, let them, his peers, Rosa. We know y'all.
Something with music?
You're amazing in chemistry, so maybe.
I definitely, it's not a career in music, but I definitely don't want to stop playing trumpet or guitar, but I actually want to be a surgeon.
His biology.
Emory?
Yeah, you're right, Emory. We trying to get him to go look.
Whatever he wants to do, I know it's going to be the right choice.
All of you all trying to go to school here, UGA or something?
Georgia Tech.
You going to Georgia Tech?
UT. Are we all
Where you going, Eric?
trying to go to GT?
UJ, you trying to go to University of Tennessee?
No, GT.
GT. Oh, okay.
I mean, if I can get into UC Berkeley, I'll go. But
Berkeley, okay.
or Princeton.
Does anyone in here know what Damani Akko means?
Damani what?
That's his middle name. Is A.K. Akko, Damani Akko. Let's just give y'all, so friends should know a little bit about him. So,
it means thoughtful.
My mother gave me an African book on names. So when he was a little boy, Sharon and I were trying to think, what's a good name to give him? So the Akko part was easy, A.K.A. Akko, and that means firstborn. So it was our firstborn, so okay, that's easy. So we were looking at names, and I said, I can't name him Donnie. I wanted something with a D. I was looking, but we thought, when we saw the word go ahead, Damani, it means thoughtful. I said, oh, that's a good meaning to have a name thoughtful. And that, have you ever heard someone say, be careful, the tongue is very powerful. Be careful what you speak, it comes true. And God is a witness. Everybody at school, y'all his friends, y'all see he's thoughtful. He's very thoughtful. So I think sometimes be careful when you talk negative to people, because the tongue is powerful. Always, you see a friend in school, something down, be positive. Say the tongue is strong. So be careful what you say good things, because he's a life example. I remember, was it last year? In the awards day of the banquet ceremony, you and someone tied for y'all. That was the best gift you get. Everybody was getting this. I remember, what's the guy Stackhouse? So he was in the 9th grade. He got the most athletic award. Everybody getting. I was more proud of the award he won. He won the award on the most love. And I said, man, that's powerful right there for the student body, for you all to vote him to get the award of love. I said, man, I'd take that any day over the most athletic and all the other awards they was giving out that day. Do any of y'all remember that?
I remember he got an award.
I don't remember.
Nailed it, damn. Your close friends don't vote for you.
That'd be cheating. Invited to vote. Invited to vote.
Everybody goes. It's the whole school.
It was the 8th grade graduation.
He said he ain't getting invited. Go ahead. So it's, you was gonna sing happy birthday?
I can't say no.
You have to stand up at least.
Wait.
So if it's
It doesn't work. Yeah, I was like, I'm still
All right.
Go out.
That's it. Very good. Oh, wow. That's nice.
Nice.
That's nice. Strap.
I like
Oh, I got it.